How's everybody doing? My name is Mike from Roots Canine Training, and I'm hanging out with Mr. Rocky. And what we're going to do today is we're going to groom them. So we're going to use this brush on them. Now, the owner has told me that the people who were grooming him were having problems with him, like he's going after the brush. I assume that's what he did with me the first time I tried to brush him. And so the first thing we want to do, is we want to introduce the brush to him. So I want him to see the brush. I don't want to just like go ahead and use it on him before he's familiar with the brush. So what I do is hold it out in front of him, and I have a hold of his leash. What I'm doing is I'm looking to see his reaction to the brush. So this is good. He's just sniffing the brush. He's curious. That's a good thing. Now, if I were to hold the brush out and he were to go after the brush, then I would correct him. Okay, so that's what the tendency is of the dog, because their prey drive kicks in. Because you see how he's tracking the brush like that? That's their prey drive kicking in. He's keeping an eye on it. When you're moving it back and forth, you know, they want to go after it. So it's a normal thing, but you got to show them not to do it through the leash. Now, this is a typical thing a lot of owners don't usually get on top of fast enough, and the object becomes a fixation for the dog. So you really want to make it so the dog doesn't feel weird about anything like a vacuum, a trash can, or brush. You know, we want them stable. We don't want them to have any unhealthy fixation. So, all right, boy, sit. So I'm going to go ahead and start brushing them. So I probably shouldn't have started over top his head. That was my fault. That was user error. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on his side. Hey, and so I'm going to correct him anytime he starts to look like he's about to go after the brush. Good boy, good sit. So when he's doing good like this, I want to tell him, good job, buddy, good boy. So he's salivating just a little bit, he's drooling, so that just means he's a little nervous. Obviously you want to be gentle with them, don't make erratic moves, and don't go over top of the head the way I first started. You want to go on the side or on their chest. Good boy. So he's doing really good, because the first time I did this with him, he was trying to attack the brush. But it only took one session, and now look at him. He's doing much better. So now I'm going to try going behind his head because he's letting me brush him everywhere. Good boy. Good job, buddy. So now I'm going to go behind. Good boy. So see, at first we couldn't go behind his head, but now we can go behind his head. So it's the same thing with scissors or any kind of object with them. They're going to, it's a new object, they're going to see if they're allowed to go after it. Good boy. Good job, buddy. So I'm brushing his ears, you know, I'm kind of doing stuff that, you know, that might annoy him a little bit, but he's got to get brushed everywhere, so. Good boy. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Good. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Now I'm only saying good boy because he's doing a good job. So if he was doing a bad job, so see, he gets like, he was getting stuff from the grass in his little goatee here. And so you got to be able to, you know, touch it. You got to be able to pick his goatee and stuff and get whatever it is out of there. Good job, buddy. Good boy. You know, he's got to let you do that kind of stuff, especially when they got fur like this. So good job, buddy. So this is what, if you had a puppy, this dog is a year and a month old, I believe. So if you had a puppy, you would want to do this with them every day. You would want to take their ears and feel through their ears, look in their ears, you know, brush them, get them used to everything. Hey, no. So you see that reaction? You can't do that. So you see that reaction. Now, if you as an owner miss that, if you miss correcting what he just did, then he's going to think it's okay. So if I brush him like this, he cannot react. If he reacts, if he twists towards the brush, I'm going to tell him hey or no, and I'm going to give him a leash pop. He can't do that. He gets punished just for twisting like that at the brush. I mean, he did stop himself from actually trying to bite it, but still, I'm trying to stop that behavior. We have to stop it in the beginning before it happens. Good job, Rocky. Dogs usually don't like you touching their toes and stuff, so it's good to get them used to that. You want to touch them all the time so they get desensitized to that. Good boy. Good boy, Rockster. So he's letting me brush him everywhere now. So it just takes a little leadership and correcting them through the leash to get them to understand that, hey, I don't want you to attack the leash. I just want you to lay there and let me brush you. And this is actually affection. You know, this is affection for the dog. So it's the same thing with any object, with scissors or anything that you're using on your dog. Toenail clippers, it's the same thing. Toenail clippers can be a little more of a challenge, but it's all about relaxing them. And if they do something that you don't want them to do, you have to correct them for it. If you simply let them do it and think it's funny, oh look, he attacks the brush, that's funny, you know, that's not the right thing to do. You know, see, I see that a lot with people with, you know, items like vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. It's, you know, you don't want your dog to be scared of these items. There's no reason for it. And you don't want an unhealthy fixation like him trying to attack this brush. You see how now he's not tracking the brush the same way. You see that? He's doing a little bit. Good boy. So now he's actually laying down on his side for me to brush him. Good boy. So before he was really keeping an eye the whole time like this on the brush. And just now when I was moving the brush, he was letting it do its thing. So you see that there's a difference in his body language. And dogs, they can't speak, so you have to read their body language to know what's going on. So if your dog is doing something like attacking the brush, you must correct them. And most of the time, dogs are very simple to deal with. This dog took one session to get him not to attack the brush. One session. Good boy. Good boy. So just make sure you have a leash when you brush your dog. That's the first thing. Have a leash, have a training collar, and make sure you're correcting the dog when they're going after the brush, or even just for looking at the brush when you know the next thing is they're going to attack the brush. So if they look at the brush, you can correct them to keep them from going to the next step. You want to correct it before it happens.